everybody, it's Khristina from Redefine Creative, and I am here with a super quick and easy scrapbooking layout today. And so I faced one of my fears, you guys. So before we get into that, I'm just going to flip through this paper for you really quick. And the reason I am doing this is because it is seriously stunning. This is the first time I have used this pack of paper from Wild Whisper Designs, and it is like amazing. Like I just want to frame them, not even use them. But these are from Nicole Wright Designs, and it's called Media Assemblage, and I'll link it down below, and I'll also give you my coupon code if you decide that you need these papers in your life like I do. But this right here is something that seriously freaks me out, you guys. So using my silhouette to make a cut file out of a piece of pattern paper, especially a gorgeous piece of pattern paper like this that I cannot like fathom screwing up. So it literally takes like, this is going to sound silly, but it takes all of my like courage and bravery to put that piece of pattern paper into my silhouette to cut. And I am so glad that I did, because look at this gorgeous cut file, you guys. So when you are looking at pattern paper sometimes and it's really bright and busy and beautiful like this, changing it into a cut file is sometimes a really great way to get all of that amazing color, but in a little bit more subtle way. So I'm going to take all of that amazing rainbow mixed media work that Nicole did and use it just like that as a cut file on some black cardstock. And so what you see me doing is I'm just ruffling up the top and the bottom edges a little bit, and I am going to kind of glue that edge that I ruffle over, because I want to add a little peak of pattern paper in each of those spots along the edge. So I have one in the top left and one in the bottom right, and that is just going to peak a little tiny bit of that really great rainbow color. Now I am playing around with this kind of silly photo, and so this was just me playing around with, I think it's Snapchat filters. I think it was a Snapchat filter. And so it is a picture of me, even though it doesn't really look like it, but I kind of loved the artistic, like abstract look of it. It really reminded me of my friend Kathy and something that she would scrapbook. And so I was channeling my inner Kathy here as I created this particular layout. So I took some white cardstock and I layered up 3 layers behind my photo, and I made them like a little bit wonky because I really wanted my photo to stand up off that paper. So the cut file that I created, I was really fortunate because the colors in that and the colors in this kind of abstract funky picture that I took are very, very similar. But I needed that white cardstock layer to kind of divide them up so that you could focus on both. So I'm just going to take some bright colors of Catherine Pooler ink and run them along the edges of those white cardstock layers. And I decided to do that, of course, after I glue them together. So in customary Khristina fashion, you get to see me pull all my layers apart and then put them back together again. And so I have 3 different colors that I'm using, like a bright blue and then a purple and a green. And then I'm going to lay them all back up together, all wonky again. And you're not going to be able to see it a ton on the screen, but in the close-ups you can really see the definition that creates between those 3 layers. And so now I'm just kind of thinking, I know that I don't want to do a lot to this layout, and I wish at this point that I had put this on dimensional adhesive rather than gluing it down to my background. And I think I might actually go back and pull the cut file off and put dimensional adhesive behind it instead, because I really think that that would look even more cool to have some dimension. But what I decided to do is grab these Paige Evans Puffy Alphas. Oh my gosh, that was a mouthful. And they're the tiny size ones. And I'm going to use them to put words that describe me kind of around my circles. And so I knew this page did not need a lot of embellishing. I knew it was going to be a pretty quick and simple layout that way. Because I really do want that amazing pattern paper and cut file to stand out. And so I'm going to put my title underneath my photo that's just going to say #JustMe. And then all around my circles are going to be all the different words. And so I'm going to use things like creative, kind. My kids tell me that I'm brainy. So they don't use the word like intelligent or smart. They're like, you're brainy, Mom. And so I had to get brainy on there. And I'm just kind of playing around a little bit here with the placement of where I want those to go. And so I love this idea of kind of me and all scrapbookers creating a layout about yourself that just has some of your characteristics. Some things that, you know, my kids could look back at and be like, yep, that was my mom. So we got sarcastic on there. I try putting shy in the middle circle. You'll see that here in a second. And then I end up having to move it around. Weird is one of the words that we included in there. So maybe you would have different words for me, especially if you've met me in person. But I went ahead and just added those all around my circles, just kind of in random places to give it a little bit of a funky look. And then I'm going to take my white paint pen and just go real quickly around the edges. And it doesn't show up as much as I would like it to, so I do go back and add a few different layers to it so that it really does pop off the page. But that is like seriously going to be it, you guys. So a beautiful pattern paper like this one from Wild Whisper in a fancy cut file really doesn't require a whole lot of embellishing or a whole lot of other things. So that makes this a really great, like, quick and easy 15 minutes of creating time. And if you know me, you know that's something I'm super passionate about, is inspiring people to create in 10 or 15-minute little chunks. And so hopefully you found this layout inspirational, and I will see you guys again very soon. Bye.